Fighting extremism and hate has never been more important. I have the true honor of working with a team of analysts and investigators and fellows and other staff in the Center on Extremism who are committed to spending majority of their waking hours in the spaces in which extremism and hate proliferate. But the real impact comes from doing something with that information. And so we share our information with law enforcement on emerging threats. We share our information on the way extremists speak, their tattoos, their symbols, the spaces in which they operate with the tech industry. We share information to help provide some comfort at times to communities, to give them the insights that they need, the information that they need to help them combat the extremist threats. Each year, the Center on Extremism tracks incidents of anti-Semitic harassment and vandalism, assault in the United States. We've been doing this for 40 plus years, since 1979, and publishing the findings in our annual audit. The last year for which we have a completed audit is 2020, and in that year, we documented 2,024 anti-Semitic incidents throughout the United States. That is the third highest year for anti-Semitic incidents since we started this project 40 plus years ago. Another critical resource that we publish is called the Heat Map. It stands for Hate, Extremism, Anti-Semitism, and Terror. And it's an interactive map made up of 6 different data sets, which at this point includes over 18,000 points on a map that enables people to visualize the threat of extremism and hatred and anti-Semitism in new ways. It's a unique resource in which unique insights can be made. It's really important in order to address extremism and hate is to have the data available so people can resource to those threats, that people can create advocacy around the data in order to compel people to try to change or create new laws or regulations that help mitigate the threats of extremism and hate. These all also inform our policy, our advocacy efforts. And in fact, in response to the attack on the US Capitol, ADL announced the Protect Plan. Domestic terrorism and extremism is a threat that impacts everyone. We're calling on policymakers to act now because extremism has to end now. Now I want to talk a little bit about what we had seen in the lead up to the January 6th insurrection in DC. Ultimately, we identified over 200 people who breached the Capitol on January 6th. COE experts and analysts and investigators were tracking online conversations as the insurrectionists were literally invading the Capitol. We were sharing information with each other in real time about people who we were trying to identify, about symbols that we were seeing on the clothes of those who were taking part of this. So what we will do is what we've always done. We will continue to sound the alarm. We will continue to develop resources to educate the public. We will continue to share information with law enforcement. We will continue to try to force the tech industry to do more. And we will also remember that at the end of the day, we'll all look back at this time, hopefully not for the hatred and the extremism, but for what good people did to stand up in the face of those challenges.